Good afternoon, it is Saturday the 25th of January. It has just turned 4 o'clock, just about to set off. A little bit of an Uber shift. Hopefully things have improved somewhat from last night, which was pretty dismal. So yeah, I'll keep you posted shortly. So a little update, it's just turned 7 o'clock. I honestly haven't had a chance to pull over. It's just been like job after job really. So yeah, as soon as I started, there's about 10 or 15 minutes of just really crap jobs coming through, and I thought, oh, here we go, it's another Friday night, another repeat of Friday night. And then I took pretty much just got into Ormskirk, and then I got a job, £9.97 for 4.1 miles, which was back to Bearscough. I'd just driven through Bearscough to get to Ormskirk. So I took that and then got a job from Bearscough back to Ormskirk again, which was £9.27 for 5.8 miles. I then got a job which was Skelmersdale into Ormskirk. So the previous job was like the outskirts of Ormskirk, borderline Skem. So that's why I accepted the Skem one. So it was like another mile over the border to then bring them back into Ormskirk. So that was £8.89 for 6 miles. And then just say thanks for this tip, including a £3.50 tip. I got £20.50 for an XL, which was 6 miles, which was Ormskirk back to Skelmersdale again. I then got a Skelmersdale back to Ormskirk, which was £11.24 for 3.8 miles. And then I had a little Ormskirk to Ormskirk, including a £1 tip. It was another XL, £8.69 for 1.6 miles. Again, staying in Ormskirk, £4.10p for 1.4 miles. A £7.47 for 2.6 miles. And then I've just done an XL, which was Ormskirk to Ormskirk. It's in Orton. £9.7p for 1.8 miles. Probably ran about a mile empty for it. But yeah, not too bad. So yeah, currently on £89.20 for the 3 hours, so that's £29.73 an hour. So yeah, not too bad. Been taking a couple of screenshots of some, ridiculous jobs that's been coming through. Like when I came online, a job 2 miles away going 10.5 miles into Liverpool, 12 quid. So I think it was like £1 a mile. And I was offered a job. What's this? Oh, sorry. Another one, they wanted me to drive 4.5 miles towards like the outskirts of Preston, to drive 10 miles into Preston for like £14.90. Crap. They then offered me an XL job. They wanted me to drive almost 11 miles to Wigan to then do a 6.1 mile trip in Wigan for £16.30, so again £1 a mile. And then I was offered this XL. This was a funny one. They wanted me to drive 9.5 miles to I don't even know where that is, somewhere in Ormskirk. Definitely isn't in Ormskirk. It was 20 minutes away anyway to do a 1 mile job, so like 10.5 miles, and they were offering me £6.30. Again, that was an XL job. And then a similar one came up, similar sort of price. What happened when I first came online, they kept offering me the same 2 jobs over and over again, and it was like Ormskirk into Liverpool L1. The first one came up, it was like £20, so I ignored it. Next one come up, it was a similar sort of distance, but it was definitely a different job, like £19, so I ignored that. And then like 20 seconds later, that first job popped up again. I was like, no, I don't want that, clicked X. A couple of seconds after that, the other Liverpool job popped up. I was like, no, I don't want that one either. That's why I ignored it before, so I clicked X, carried on driving. The first Liverpool job popped back up again, clicked X on it again. A couple of seconds after that, the other Liverpool job popped up. I was like, are they having me on here? And then Uber came up saying, are you still there? And I was like, yeah, I'm still here. And then the Liverpool job popped back up again, and I was like, you having a laugh? I clicked X again. It then come up saying, yeah, we've kicked you off because you know, we believe that you might have been online by accident or something. I said, and I was thinking, I'm not. You're offering me the same 2 stupid jobs over and over again. So then you have to log back on. But yeah, other than that, it's going quite well. So I'll give you another update shortly. So it's just after 8 o'clock and I'm now in Southport. So after the last update, I was still in Ormskirk. I done a 424 for 1.7 miles. I then done a 796 for 2.2 miles. Then, including a £2 tip, I done a £14.07 for 3 miles. Which one was that? Oh, sorry, that bigger one was basically, I knew I needed to start heading towards Southport to use the rapid charger later on. So a job come up which was basically Southport to Southport, but it was the outskirts of Southport, borderline Ormskirk. So I ran a couple of miles to it to grab that to take me into Southport. Saves me just driving up here empty, so I got like £14 for driving up here, which I would have been doing anyway, so it was quite good. Got into Southport and then done a 377 for 0.9 of a mile, and then I've just done a 376 for 1.1 miles. So I've done 4 hours, currently on exactly 123, so that works out at almost £31 an hour. So yeah, not too bad up to now. I picked a guy up before when I was in Ormskirk, and he said, oh, how is Uber? And I said, well, from a passenger point of view or a driver? And he was like, oh, well, from a driver. He said, I used to be on the private tyres in Ormskirk, 5757 or something. He said, but I'm a driving instructor now. And I was like, all right. So I got talking to him about that, and he was like, I said, I've seen other people leave, like, you know, the taxi trade, as it were, to go and do to be like a driving instructor. And he was like, oh, it's not what it's cut out to be. He said, I've been doing it for just over a year now, about a year and a half, I think he said. He said, you know, it's great. He said, you know, you're on like £35 an hour. He said, but the amount of outgoings that you have, he said, it's kind of like, you know, you just can't really be bothered. Like, it's too much stress. He said, like, the amount of different students that you have coming in, obviously none of them can drive. Getting them all up to driving standard and this and that. He said it's a lot of stress. He said, but then, you know, you compare that, he said, to when he was doing the private tyres. He said, I always seemed to feel like I had money in my pocket. He said, but none of it was ever mine. He said, because by the time I paid me settle and then paid this and then paid that, he said, and that's what forced him to, like, you know, have like a bit of a career change. So, you know, that's why I said to him, like, I said, like, you know, a lot of the time I will be doing my own private work. That's what my main goal was to do, and then basically use Uber as a filler, as it were. You know, if you haven't really got any of your private jobs, then you can just jump on Uber a bit more, or, you know, if you're going to the airport on a private job, you can turn the Uber app on and then try and get something coming back. You know, just put a bit more thought into what it is you're doing, so obviously, like, maximise your profit and cut back on any of them dead miles you're doing. And he was like, oh yeah, I didn't think of that. So he'd obviously just been doing things like dropping somebody off at the airport and then running all the way back empty, and it's like, well, if you do that, you know, you are going to start struggling. So yeah, I was just talking to him for about 20 minutes while I was dropping him off, and then yeah, he was basically saying he was looking for another career move because he just didn't fancy it. I was talking about the HGVs because I said I used to do that years ago, and he said, oh yeah, he said, I've done that myself years ago. He said, like, he didn't fancy it, so that's why he went from that and he went on to the private tyres. But then he didn't fancy that because there wasn't enough money in it, so then he's gone on to the driving instructor. But now that's too much, you know, pressure and stress, because you have to, like, constantly redo tests, and you're being examined yourself, obviously, you know, to keep up to a certain standard and everything. So yeah, he doesn't know what it is that he wants to do, but I said to him, like, you know, just renew your badge when it comes through, so you've at least got something to fall back on just in case you do want to jump back on it. And he was like, yeah, he said it's a you know, a good bit of advice. So I think he was going to look at keeping hold of that, because I think that's, he said, funny enough, he said I got a letter about that the other day, because I think it must be due for renewal or something. So yeah, at the moment I'm in Southport. It's saying I've got 32 miles of range left, and I'd have to head over to the charger probably in about an hour and a half, something like that. So yeah, hopefully it lasts. See what happens. So it's just after 9 o'clock and it's been a little bit slow for the past hour, to be honest. I've only done, I realised I'd only done them 2 jobs. Yes, I've done like the little last update, sat around for a bit. Got an £8.28 for just over 4 miles, and then done a £5.33 for 1.8 miles. That's about it. So just, yeah, it just seems to have like tapered off, gone really quiet all of a sudden. So yeah, so that currently takes me to 136. So the hourly rate has dropped a little bit now to £27.30. But yeah, I'll be doing like another 30-40 minutes or so, and then because it's just coming up to 9:10 now, so I'll be doing another 30-40 minutes and then go and jump on a rapid charger. Yeah, it does say it's currently surging around Southport, you know, it's all red and blue, but yeah, I'm online and nothing's coming through. Strange. So I'll update you in a bit. So a little bit of an update. I need to charge the light up on me on the camera. I'll have to charge it up in a minute when I stop, so apologies, it's pitch black. So it's just coming up to midnight. So the last update was 9 o'clock, was it? Yeah, about 9 o'clock. I've done an XL, £6.62 for 1.1 miles, and then a 488 for 1.9 miles, and then I went on charge for, I think it was about an hour and 20 minutes. Came back online 11, so still in Southport. Went to a job, they didn't show up, so I cancelled it, got £3.75. And then where was I? And then I started heading back towards Ormskirk. I waited around for about 10 minutes and I said to myself I didn't want it to be like last night where I was just like hanging around waiting for jobs. I thought I just can't be bothered. So I was heading back into Ormskirk, and then a job came up which I thought was Ormskirk, but it was the outskirts of Ormskirk, borderline Skem. So it was Skem to St Helens, £26.33. It was an XL, going just over 11 miles, so it wasn't too bad. It's like almost £2.50 a mile. So I dropped them off, and then I'm still in St Helens now, so I've just been like bouncing around here for a little bit. Got like a £5.58 for 1.5 miles, and then I've just done a £4.70 for 1.8 miles. So currently on just over 188. I've done 7 hours, so it's just shy of £27 an hour. So yeah, I thought I'd just maybe stay around here for a little bit before maybe heading back towards the Ormskirk area. What I've noticed, because I've come into like St Helens, it's like I can see more surge. It's a bit weird. When I've been in Ormskirk, for example, it'll show me surges in like different areas. As in, it'll show me kind of like Ormskirk, it'll show me what's happening towards Preston, because obviously it's classed as like Lancashire. And now that I've come into St Helens, it's showing me all the surges all over St Helens, Warrington, Knowsley, Liverpool, Birkenhead, as far as Chester. As though like that's a different kind of like catchment area. I've probably seen it in the past because I've worked St Helens in the past, but I think that was like a few months back, to be honest. Yeah, that's the only reason I basically bounced over here, was because that job came up for £26, and it was nice and easy running from Ormskirk down to St Helens, because it's just bypass all the way until you get into St Helens. So yeah, I'll hang around here for 10-15 minutes, see if anything half decent is happening. If not, I'll start heading back towards sunny Ormskirk. So I'll catch you in a bit. So, final update. It's been a couple of hours. It's now 3:30. So the last update was 12:30, I believe. Where was I? Forgot. I was in St Helens. I think, yeah, because I think I remember saying I was going to stick around for a bit. That didn't last very long, so I done one more job, which was £3.72 for just over a mile, and then started heading back towards Ormskirk. All the jobs that were coming through were just doing crap, basically. So yeah, headed back towards Ormskirk, picked up an XL job, got there, and sorry, I was on my way there, because I was on my way to Ormskirk anyway, and the customer cancelled the job, so I got £5 for it, which wasn't too bad. Then picked up a little surge job, which was £6 for 1.9 miles. I then got another surge job, £6.19 for 2.2 miles. Then got another surge job, £8.90 for 4.7 miles. Customer cancelled, £3.85 for 0.9 of a mile. Then had an XL job, which was a surge. It was £10.08 for 0.4 of a mile. Then I had a £3.75 for 0.9 of a mile. £6.30 for 3.3 miles. And then the last one I took because it was a multi-drop, but it was coming back pretty much to where I lived. So I picked them up. There was a couple. Apparently we were supposed to be dropping her off in Burscough, and then he was carrying on not far from where I lived. So we then got to Burscough, and he said, "Oh, I'll just get out here with her if that's okay." He said, "So I'll cancel the job when I get out." So I was like, "Yeah, that's fine." And then I just carried on back from there. So I still got the full amount, which was £14.38. That was probably like, what was it, about 4 miles, something like that. But obviously I was looking at that to get me back to mine. But yeah, so it wasn't too bad. It was almost £3 a mile, that one. So I finished on 256 and 64p. So it works out roughly £25.60 an hour, and I've done 10 hours. So not too bad. Would have liked it to have been a little bit more, but I've had a little bit to messing about where I've been, like making my way back from St Helens. So there's a bit of a, probably like 15 minutes wasted there driving back, and then, I was driving back from Southport towards Ormskirk when I got bored of working up there, so that was probably like another 15 minutes wasted. So there's all them little gaps there of wasted time. Obviously has an effect on your hourly rating. But yeah, I've done exactly 7 hours drive, 29 trips. Not taking any pictures of anything. Quite a few. Not sure if I read some of them out before. We're tired now. Where was I? I was in Southport, and they were offering me jobs in Wigan. So they wanted me to drive almost 12 miles to Wigan to do an XL job, which was another 3.5 miles, so over 15 miles, which would have took 35-40 minutes. and they were offering me £10.60, which is obviously ridiculous. And then I was in St Helens and they wanted me to drive to Widnes, which was 7.5 miles away, to do a 2-mile job, so 9.5 miles in total, another XL job, and they were offering me £7.44. So I ignored it. They then offered me another XL job. This time they wanted me to drive 10.7 miles to Runcorn to do a 1-mile job, so roughly 12 miles, and I had to go over the Runcorn Bridge, which costs I think about £1.80 or something, and they were offering me £6.47, so that was like 50p a mile, and I would have had to have paid to go over the bridge as well. It's just ridiculous. I've only had one annoying passenger really. She was like a classic backseat driver, so I picked them up from Ormskirk, taking them to Burscough, which is like about a 10-minute drive thereabouts. So I've done like the first 8 minutes all the way there, you know, left, right and roundabouts and all the rest of it, and then all of a sudden she like springs to life in the back and she's like, oh yeah, we're going to be turning right here now, driver. And I was thinking, like, how does she think I've got this far? Like, I'm 80% of the way back to her house. Now she's going to start giving me directions. So I was just like, right, okay, yeah, thanks for that. Turning right anyway, you know. So you can see it on the big massive maps in the middle on the screen on Google Maps. Plus it's on my phone, on the Uber app. So I turn right anyway, because that's where I was going. Start heading down there. And then she's like, oh yeah, we're going to be turning left here. And I was thinking, I'm going to have to say something, because there was like another 2 or 3 minutes left, and I just can't sit there and have someone directing me like, you know, it's during the war or something. So I said, oh yeah, I know, thanks. I said, it's on the map. I said, this is going to take me right to your front door. So she was like, oh right, okay. So then we carry on for like another minute, and then we get onto her estate. She's at the bottom of the estate, so just following the map, left, right, all the way down to the bottom of the estate, and she's going, yeah, I'm all the way at the bottom of the estate. I'm thinking, Jesus Christ. So I'm just sitting there thinking, I just don't even acknowledge it, because I've told her it's on the map. She knows it's on the map. Everybody knows it's on the map. How do you think Uber works? And then we end up all the way at the bottom and coming into like a little bit of a cul-de-sac, and the map's saying, you know, bend round to the right, and she lives in the corner. And she's gone, yeah, if you just follow this round to the right, and I'm just in the corner. I just burst out laughing. I couldn't even hold it in anymore. I didn't know if to like laugh or get angry. So I just started laughing. She must have been thinking, what's he laughing at? So I just pulled up and opened the door, said, yeah, thanks for that. And she climbed out. I just don't understand, like, why would you get involved? The only time I would get involved would be if the driver said to me, you know, where'd you live? Or something. You know, like sometimes like I'll go down a road, and if they've just put the postcode in, it'll just take you into their street, and then obviously it's not giving you the house number. So I'll approach where the dot is, the drop-off point, and then I'll say, oh, so do you live on the left or the right? Because there is no house number, and they'll say left or right. But yeah, I just couldn't sit there and start directing an Uber driver when the map's right there. It's just. So other than that, wasn't too bad. Haven't really had any like big major clowns or anything. It's been quite an easy shift really. I mean, I've been out for, what are we? 11.5 hours I've been out. But obviously, best part of an hour and a half, or almost an hour and a half, is when I stopped when I was on charging that. So it was just the actual 10 hours that I was online. So yeah, that's about it. I would have liked to have averaged a little slightly better hourly rate. Well, it is what it is, I suppose. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I will catch you on the next one. It won't be tomorrow, don't do Sundays. So yeah, it'll be Monday. So I'll catch you then.